Oh, sorry. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. It's Carlos Robles, Immortals Inc. podcast from the Immortals Inc. store. How you doing? Sorry, I was trying to do a couple of things. Today we were supposed to do. Nate was supposed to be doing Dungeon Crawl Classics, but I don't know. He was going to go on vacation or something, but he's got to read it, so he's going to have it. So we'll have that in a couple of weeks. But in the meantime, I brought in a special guest of John Dunn.
Hi, folks.
Everybody knows him.
Thanks for making me your emergency backup. The guy when we couldn't get somebody better.
No, come on, stop. You're good. But maybe it was. You're a team Charlie. No,
you're the best of what's left.
Yeah. But he's brought in. He's going to talk about Genesys RPG from Fantasy Flight Games. It's a role-playing game based. Well, he'll tell you about it. But John's our resident, I guess you would be professional writer, publisher, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, pretty much. Those are I wear those hats. I wear a few others, but yeah, that's...
All right. So, but thanks for joining us and or listening and or watching or whatever you're doing. And once Josh gets us on the Facebook page, not Facebook, our website, which is updating constantly. Right, Josh? All right. Well, we mic'd Josh up today, so you might be able to hear him. I've noticed when I was listening to old podcasts that we would be a pause, and you could hear like it was a Charlie Brown.
Yeah, he's the teacher.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. So, anyway, anything new this week? It's Christmas week or Black Friday. It just was Thanksgiving, so there's a lot going on. But some of the stuff we got going on at the store, John, is D&D on. We're going to add another D&D night of Sundays.
Great. So they're going to be competing with me for space at Savage Sundays.
Well,
I see where that goes. Yeah.
Listen, that's what we put the vote out there for everybody on the D&D Cleveland Dungeons and Dragons Facebook group. Which, if you're a D&D player or a role player, you should join that group.
Yeah, it's a great community.
Yeah, it's a very good community. It's a community. It's monitored by. I can't remember their names now. Two guys that do it.
Sam from SideQuest?
No.
Oh, I thought he did.
Chris and... Oh, I should have wrote it down. Yeah, I'm sorry. We'll get you next time, guys. I'm sorry. I forgot. But, yeah, we just we try to help them out any way we can. But, yeah, it's a really good community. But we put the vote out there, and they said Sundays would be a good day. So we're going to... Another D&D league or get some DMs and everything like that. Probably very soon, within about a month, you think, Josh? Hopefully within a month.
Gaming over the holidays is always a mess anyway.
Yeah, It's like by January, maybe starting a new year.
Yeah, honestly, probably the new year.
Okay. All right. And then along with that, we have a special league world building living city here at the Immortals Inc. We're going to be working on. Josh has been working on this project secretly for 6 months, and he just told me about it the other day, and I totally geeked out on it. But you'll be able to build a city and then within a world, and we'll have backgrounds, and I get to be a
evil mastermind.
No. I'm not gonna let it out there. But I got really super excited that I could take out all my aggressions on. No, I'm kidding. But that's gonna be a lot of fun. So that should be there. Friday nights we used to be GW night. It's still GW. We're gonna focus exclusively on Kill Team now. So if you want to play Kill Team on Friday nights, we're gonna do that along with Friday Night Magic. But Nate's gonna be here. We have a bunch of the Kill Team box, like the promo stuff that we just
awesome
never did anything with. Yeah. So now we're going to bring all that out and it'll be there. So, we have an Underdark tournament. What's that? Warhammer Shades. No, it's not Shades.
Yeah, that is not Underdark.
Yeah, it's Underworld from GW. They have an Underworld tournament for their new set Beastgrave. I'm going to have a tournament for that on January 4th. I believe that's a Sunday. No, Saturday. It's a Saturday. So that'll be a day event. Another upcoming event is Protospiel, January 31st to February 2nd. We're going to be hosting that here again.
That's a neat project where lots of people bring in their games in development.
Yeah,
people get a chance to play test it.
Yeah, it's for game developers, and then you get to be a play tester, and you come in and tell them what's good or bad about it. Next podcast for Nate will be the Dungeon Crawl Classics on December 27th. It's scheduled for. I'm trying to do this like a real thing where you have actual time frames and not just go, hey, what are you doing? Sorry about that. December 15th, we're having a Meet the Creators of Obelisk here, Meet Your Game Designers. So they'll be here, husband and wife team. They're pretty funny. And then the usual Friday Night Magic and Saturday Commander for Magic. I know you don't play Magic a lot, do you?
So I was at the Gen Con when it came out, and I played a bunch then, and I played up through about a little after the dark, and then I sold my cards and said, I don't have time for this.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like
and,
me.
I sold the cards for what seemed like a fortune then, and now I look at those cards and go, wow, I could buy, a vacation house on that.
Yeah, that's Magic for you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're still looking for new different things like Standard and, man, I don't know. But Commander and Draft always seems to be good. So Friday Night Magic and then Saturday Commander. So if you got any ideas, call us up, come in, make something. We don't care. We'll figure it out. And that's it for me. Anything for you, John?
I think you should be showing those new dice that you guys got. Those are pretty sharp.
Oh, that was another Josh project. We got logo dice. They're based on our colors and the D6. And on the 6 side is our Immortals Inc. logo.
I think you got a nice photo of them up on the Immortals Inc. Facebook page.
Do we, Josh?
Definitely should be featured more.
Okay, yes, we'll put that out there then. And I'm sure Josh will want to order more.
We sold a bunch already this
Did
weekend.
we?
So.
Yeah.
Well, I bought a bunch, so.
I don't even have any yet. You know what else we have is gift cards now, like real gift cards. Like before we used to do it for the trade, you'd have a card and tell the trade. Now we actually have like gift cards with a little bow on it, and that's probably important this holiday season.
Some people think so, yeah.
Well, anyway, whatever. I don't care what's going on. No. And then that's it for us. What, anything with you, John? You got Savage Worlds on Sundays. I know you're doing
Yeah,
crazy.
so Sunday night, Savage Worlds. Tuesdays, we've got the Trail of Cthulhu Masks of Nyarlathotep stream up here.
I totally forgot.
And we are still looking for one more player on that. So if you can make a consistent Tuesday night game session, we could use one more person who's willing to, let's diplomatically say, have their character go completely insane through the course of discovering the greater evils of the beings beyond reality.
Yeah. So if that sounds fun to you, give Josh or John a call and talk to him. We'll see. And we'll go from there. Any other projects you were working on you can talk about?
Well, the last thing I worked on that came out about a week ago, the PDF release of Interface 03.0, the Player's Guide to 2095, just hit release. That is a cyberpunk setting for Savage Worlds. It's published by Gunmetal Games. It's in PDF right now. It should be coming out. The PDF right now is basically a pre-release. They're looking for people to proofread it, essentially. And then they'll send it to press. So I'm betting it will hit print in probably 2 or 3 months.
Oh, okay. I know we just got some cyberpunk stuff in. I don't think it was that.
I don't think it was that. This is a cyberpunk genre, but it's published for Savage Worlds.
Oh, okay.
I worked on the Player's Guide to that. There's a GM's Guide that hasn't yet hit PDF and a couple other things I worked on for them. And I've got some other stuff in the works for them that hasn't yet been announced. So.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm sure you keep us up to date and tell us to carry that.
Whether or not you choose to, I'll let you know.
I will. I'm always good for it. When I go, what? Is that out?
Yeah, that thing I told you about 6 months ago? Yeah.
Okay, I got it. But anyway, all right, so what brings us now is Genesys.
So I thought it'd be fun to cover Genesys a little bit. Genesys is a generic role-playing game system that's published by Fantasy Flight Games. Previously, the rules were available as part of the Star Wars role-playing game line. So they have Force and Destiny, Age of Rebellion, and Edge of the Empire as their 3 different Star Wars rule settings. And then they also did Legend of the Five Rings using this rule system.
Oh, so this is the same system as Star Wars?
It's essentially the same system. There's some tweaks, but it's generalized. And so you basically get the main rules, but then you also get, breakdown of the core mechanics, and then you get suggestions for how to use it in fantasy, steampunk, weird war, modern day science fiction, or space opera in here. And then, it's pretty easy to build upon that as well. So Genesys uses what they call the narrative dice system. So that means it's using funky dice, right? Right, D&D dice to most of the world are funky dice. These dice are funky to other role players too.
Extra funky.
Yeah, so the dice are colored. So you go by, you have so many green dice, so many blue dice, so many black dice in your pool. And you build a pool based on a combination of the character's skills, the circumstance, and if there's any kind of opposition. and then you roll the dice, and the dice don't have numbers on them, they have symbols. And the symbols are kind of a mix and match thing where you've got good symbols and bad symbols, and the goods counteract the bads and balance out, and so you just look at what you have net. The dice are available separately. Obviously, there's a book, not a box set, so you don't get them that way. If you buy any of the Star Wars box set starters,
I was going to ask.
you get those dice.
So it's those dice.
They're essentially the same because this isn't a Lucasfilm licensed product. The symbols are slightly different, but
Wow.
if you learn them for Star Wars,
Could you use the Star Wars dice?
they are the number of faces and symbols are exactly the same. So if you've got them for Star Wars, it'll work for this. If you buy them for this, they'll work for Star Wars. Same way with L5R.
They usually come in those little packs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You get a little
it's
pack of dice for 12 bucks.
15 bucks.
If you don't want physical dice and you're not horrified by the idea of electronic dice, they sell
Nope.
an app.
Fixed.
App's
Fixed.
$5. I'm telling you. I respect that.
Broken.
No, I totally get that. If you are a dice fanatic, and the thing that makes me crazy about it though is people say, "Oh, I don't want to buy special dice for a role playing game," which, hey, I get you don't want to buy another set of dice, but wait a minute, you just bought 17 more sets of dice off of that new display
Well, you know.
Carlos set up.
Well.
Yeah. So hey, I get both sides of it.
They're
But-
different.
Yes, they're different. They are only going to work for this game or Star Wars
See,
or L5R.
my dice are very
but-
xenophobic. They don't want these other special dice. They don't know anything about them. All right, that went weird. All right, go ahead.
It's 6s, 8s, and 12s. You can use a conversion chart, but the fact of the matter is, because of the way you're rolling the dice,
That's too much.
and and you're counting the faces and trying to counteract things. If you tried to use numbered dice, you just make yourself miserable.
All right. So it's basically a pass-fail success system.
Yeah, but it's gradient of success. And so what it does with the gradient of success is when you've got extra, so you have advantage
So
on a roll, so you can go, okay, I have these advantage points, so I can spend them in these different ways. So there is a narrative element to it.
So if you succeed, but you succeed with extra success dice or more, you can do extra.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you
And if
can
you
succeed and you can fail
And go-
and
go
still
the other
have
way,
some degree of success, right? So you could succeed at a Pyrrhic victory where there's a terrible cost in your success, or you could fail but still gain some benefit out of it. So like you were trying to jump on the guy's car to gain control of the wheel, but you failed and you weren't able to grab the car, but in the course of it you grabbed the MacGuffin that the bad guy was trying to get away with. So you still met with some degree of success.
Or you fell off and got ran over.
That's always an option too, but that falls more in the realm of clear-cut failure.
we want to see that failure.
One of the things this game does that's different from just the Star Wars system, the Star Wars system had very clear talent trees when you would advance a character.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of breaks that out and makes it a little more freeform so that you can do more of what you want as you're advancing a character. That's really the biggest difference.
I could see. Well, Star Wars is a set universe, and this seems to be way open.
It's exactly it.
You can play.
There's no force rules in here. Instead, you've got a magic system. I mean, that only makes sense.
Force.
And the magic system's pretty easy to generalize to other things. For fantasy, their default setting is what they call Runebound, which is the same setting they used for their Rune Wars miniature game and card game and the Descent board game. So it's kind of
that's their universe.
Yeah,
so
it's a
Fantasy Flight one.
house fantasy setting. So they've got the basic guts of it in here. They also have a Terranoth specific source book with a lot more material on it, which is available. Steampunk, they had Sovereigns of Steam, which I believe is a board game that I'm not familiar with that they publish.
Yeah, it is.
And so
I don't think it's called that. But
I think it's
is.
got a different name, but
Yeah.
that's the gist of it. It's not one I'm familiar with. Weird War, they use Tannhauser, which
is a good game.
I heard it's a really good game. I haven't played it.
Yeah, it is a good game. It's weird.
Modern day, they don't try to have, here's a definitive modern day setting. It's just modern.
Whatever.
Science fiction, for their default setting, they use Android, which they've published a billion things for Android.
It's kind of like Netrunner.
Yeah. Well, Netrunner was... They used the Netrunner Cyberpunk card game and adapted it with Android artwork, basically. And there is also a Shadow of the Beanstalk source book, which is the Android source book for Genesis that's also available.
How many source books they got for this so far?
So the two that are out right now are Terranoth and Android.
Mm-hmm.
The two that are in the process of releasing, like some pre-orders have shipped, but I don't think it's hit a street date yet, are an expanded player's guide, which includes a few more genres. I believe mecha is one of them, and I think it includes a couple of alternative ways of doing character development. And then the one that I'm really jazzed about that I had a chance to work on that they've announced it's coming out first quarter is Keyforge.
Oh, their card game? Yep.
Yeah, well, Keyforge card game as a role-playing game setting.
Yep.
So that's their kitchen sink setting, right? So if you want to do Rifts or something like that, or Shadowrun, where you merge together every imaginable genre, Keyforge is pretty much it. Because you've got magic, you've got cyberpunk, you've got,
a hot mess.
Yeah,
No,
pretty
I'm
much.
kidding.
I mean, in fairness, it's anything you want to shove into it.
How hard is it? Did all the characters make? When you make characters when you make a character, is it the set for any setting? It's the same process, right?
Pretty much, yeah. So basically, the big thing that's going to change is you get different species for each setting.
Oh,
So
okay.
when you're organizing your setting, if you're using one of these in here, it's going to give you a list of which species you have available to you. And then it may have a subset of careers as well. So, D&D, you could choose a class and a race. In Genesis, you're going to choose a species and a career. Same basic gist. Career advancement is a lot more wide open. You're going to choose specific skills when you develop your character. Characters within a particular career path it's a little more economic for them to buy these skills that are the focus of that career, but it's not a make or break deal.
Okay. So, but it's basically you can make it for anything.
Yeah.
Do they cross over? Can you put one into another?
Absolutely, and that's kind of the heart and soul of Keyforge, right?
Oh, okay. You just said that. Yeah.
And then they do Twilight Imperium as their space opera, science fiction-y setting in here too.
You ever played that?
I have never had enough time to play a full game of it.
I'd like to find somebody who played a full game of it, or
think-
somebody who plays a lot of it.
Yeah,
Or maybe on my next vacation we'll play that.
if you got like a long vacation.
Like a couple weeks.
I think that'd be enough. Yeah.
2 months or
2
whatever.
months. Well, we'll wait till next October. I usually get a month or so off.
GM section is after the settings, talks about just different ways you can customize things, gear creation, which there's a lot of examples in the different genres.
I've noticed gear creation has become a big thing in all of these games lately.
Yeah.
And I blame, I don't blame, I'm just saying I think that comes from video games. I think because before it was like, here's your weapon and that's it.
Oh, Shadowrun always had a lot of
Did
different.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Even going back to second edition, you could put on it a lot of different weapons mods, like what scope you had, if it was a smart gun, different trigger options, different ammo options.
Maybe they were ahead of the time, but that seems to be a big thing. I don't know. That's just the way I play. I'm like, I don't know. Bill.
Sure.
Even when I play video games, that's probably why I lose or don't get so far. So I'm like, whatever. What do you got? Give me the base model. I'm going.
And then their magic system is generalizable. So they've got a magic system that is set up to go in a lot of different directions, but it's pretty easy to generalize it. You can pretty much do supers if you want, just by tweaking this. Yeah. I think supers is one of the things that's in a little bit of it in the expanded player's guide that's just come out. I haven't had a chance to see that yet. It literally is just shipping now. I did write a super setting for it though, which is I adapted my Hope Prep School setting that I've published for a couple of different systems and put that up on their community content page. The other thing they've got in here is tones. I'll come back to community content later. Tones are ways of setting a theme with an adventure, not necessarily tied into the genre you're working in, but more the style of adventure you want to do within it. So they cover horror, intrigue, I think romance, mystery, pulp,
Oh, okay.
romance and drama, and superheroes. And it's just, what kind of stories you associate with those kinds of characters. So, you could have...
You can mix and match them, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
you can have a pulp steampunk and...
totally. But you can also have,
romance steampunk.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can have horror
steampunk mystery, steampunk horror,
okay.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
so
not
they all
bad.
go hand in hand.
So it's a pretty... it's like I don't want to say generic, but it's like
No, it is. I mean, it's a
generic-
generalizable system.
You can put
I mean,
anything into it.
Yeah.
Is this all you need to play? Is the one book?
The one book and the dice.
Hmm.
And like I said, there's a GM screen that just came out that's available or starting to be available. There's an expanded player's guide, which is basically, it gives you some more tones, it gives you some more genres, gives you some more ways of doing character development. And then they've got a couple of setting books.
Do you, how hard is this for beginner players, or is this?
It can be, yeah. I've totally have introduced people to gaming with it.
Have you? They
Yeah,
picked it
in
up?
fact, I ran a Genesys session as a demo maybe a month or two ago up here.
Yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I thought of it. Or I think
Sure.
you told me, but I think when I was scrambling to find something, you said, hey. I'm like, oh, yeah. But, yeah, if you were a new player, would you, like, okay, say I'm the game store owner,
Mm-hmm.
and a guy comes in and says, I want to start role-playing. Would this be something he could start
It'd be
with?
an option. I would look at this or Savage Worlds, and
For
it's going to
simplicity,
be...
Well, Savage Worlds is simple.
These are both pretty simple.
These are both simple.
Yeah. It's going to provide a little bit of a different background for you. This is more narrative based, so this is going to
So it's
is
not
more open to storytelling,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So you're going to have a die result that you need to interpret. So you're going to say
okay.
you failed to a certain extent, and then you're going to want to explain what that failure means into the story.
So more.
And so it's kind of, it depends upon the players. If the players are strong narrative storytelling types, right?
That's
If they're people that are coming to gaming from a fan fiction background or that sort of thing, then this could be a much better fit. If they're coming to gaming from more of a number crunching background
That's, I
or
guess
a video game background, this might not be as good of
That's
a fit.
what I was going to ask. It's more of the story. So if they're like they're more into the story and the acting and the backgrounds.
Exactly. If they come from a theatrical background or a
Yeah.
fan fiction background,
Yeah.
this could be a better fit.
We just do what you want background. There's no set. You don't have to. Yeah, it's open, so it's generic.
Yeah.
You know, they can just do what they want. It'll fit in here.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
This is also, you're going to roll dice a lot less with Genesys than you would with either Savage Worlds or D&D or most more traditional systems because
that's how it was with Star Wars when I played it too.
yeah, that's exactly it. You're gonna resolve most of a scene with a dice roll, right? I mean, a combat, yeah, you're gonna roll
It's kind
more.
of like where.
But if you're not gonna say, I make a notice check, and then okay, I step 10 feet away. I'm gonna make another notice check.
No.
You're gonna make one check, and it's gonna.
The more the story, you
Yeah.
want to move it. I feel like this is like, hey, if you're going to do something extra or over the top or something, let's see how close you are to fail or whatever, and then
Right.
okay, it's like a lot of games that Nate's been reviewing.
And then this does have a story point system as well. And the way the story points work is you've got a number of counters, one for every player, and then one for the GM. And when a player flips it, it gives the GM a point. So I explained that poorly. You have
Yeah, I don't know
a
where
story
this is going.
point for every player, right? And
Yeah.
a story point gives you a benefit, right? So it lets your player do something extra. It lets
If
you
you
affect
fail,
the
okay.
story. It lets you re-roll dice. Some abilities depend upon flipping a story point. And you start out with every player, a pool that everybody can spend from. And there's 1 point in there per player. And the GM starts out with a pool with 1 story point in it of his. Every time a player spends a point, it goes into the GM pool. Every time the GM spends a point, it goes into the player pool.
Oh, so like
So it's cyclical.
if the player's like, it's like Star Wars, like the Force. And
It's
like
exactly
Dark,
like the
if
light
the
side,
players
dark
start
side.
using all their special, like calling upon whatever power it may be, then the GM gets all that power,
Gets
so you can
payback.
turn it back on them.
Exactly.
Yin yang,
Yeah.
up and down, left and right, whatever.
Yeah,
Okay, it keeps the story moving. Then
Mhm.
you're not always going to win. You're not always going to lose. So that's
right.
That's
And,
nice.
but in principle, you've always got a way to look at things and go, wow, that die roll really sucked. Let me fix that.
Mm-hmm. Until you run out.
Yeah. Yep. Until you run out.
And they get real careful when you run out of dice. But that's cool. Would you suggest it for an advanced player or like?
I'd suggest it for any kind of group where they are frustrated with the system they're using currently. I mean, if they're veteran role players and they feel like their system's getting in the way, this is a great alternative approach.
I think if they're veteran players and their systems getting in the way, I think they've moved from the number crunching over to the narrative play.
A lot of times.
Yeah, I
a
think
lot of times that's the case. Yeah.
Cause that's where I started. Like I've noticed myself because now I play more often. I've noticed myself going from like just rolling dice. Okay, here, move, to the narrative.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you
right?
want.
I think so, Josh. Right? Because I know I'm pushing them forward a lot more. Hey, this is the story, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that a lot.
like
For sure.
they don't have to kill
Like,
everything.
you're getting more into the role playing and like the backstabbing and all that stuff.
Yeah, like a backstory. That's why I was yelling at you that I need a professional writer to run my game now. Josh, now how much are we gonna charge me here? But yeah, no biggie. All right, so that's good. How much is this thing anyway?
I think it's 40.
Yeah, $39.95.
Yeah, which anymore for a core book?
No,
that's not much at all. Yeah.
That's all you need, and then they only have
It's
a few
pretty beefy too. Like it's not small.
Yeah, it's not small. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good
it's on the
read.
order of 256 pages.
And then it's nice art and cover, and the interior looks really good. Does it read nice? Does it flow through when you read the rules?
Well,
It's
I
not
like
a
to think
clunky-
so,
yeah,
but
right.
I'm a little biased on that front. So.
Oh, okay, I forgot. What was I thinking?
Um,
It's terrible writing. Wait, are you in here?
What part did you work on?
I've just some of the talents and stuff are things that I had previously written for Star Wars that pretty much got ported into it.
Cool.
There's a pretty active community in support of this as well. You can get, character sheets and GM screen downloads and things. Various handouts are all readily available. Beyond that, I did mention Drive-Thru has a community content site for it, so anybody that wants to can write material for it and publish it there. Drive-Thru gets a cut, Fantasy Flight gets a cut, Author gets a cut. It's only available in PDF.
Do we get a cut?
Unfortunately, you do not get a cut unless
Cut that
you
part.
set
Cut
up,
that part out, Josh. No, I'm kidding.
unless you guys set up a referral page for Drive-Thru. And if you set up a referral page where people can click through from Immortals Inc., you guys can get a cut from Drive-Thru. Why haven't you done
Did you
that
hear
yet?
that? Referral. Write that down, Josh.
Write it down right now.
Swear to God, you better write that. I'm writing it down.
Everybody gets referrals.
Referral
And
page.
until they do, if you go to meliorvia.com, there's a referral page right there for Drive-Thru RPG. Yes, there is. In
Go
fact,
there right
you
now.
know what? You could go there right now and just copy my code and put that on your page.
We'll definitely do that.
Yeah, we will do. I didn't know that was that because I don't know if you noticed. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's
As a-
come up in conversation once
As
or
a
twice.
business, I have no idea what's going on. Every time I turn around, I'm like, "What's that? And what's going on? And what problem do I have to like?" Most people like to fix stuff as they go. I carry a fire extinguisher because I just don't know what's going on. There's a dumpster fire. I turn
That's a
around.
lie.
No,
Oh,
come
lies.
on, come on. I don't know what I'm doing.
You act like that, but you know what you're doing.
Nope, not one bit. One more question, sir. Anyway, hey John, put the camera on me, Josh. Con, right? Doesn't that remind you?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, it totally does. Yes, the Genesis device.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm looking at it going Genesis.
yeah,
So stupid.
Right?
totally.
I can't
oh
be
no,
the only
you can't
one.
not do that. Yeah, you are not the first.
Oh man.
Yeah,
John,
there's-
John does it every night. He owns the book.
There's a few good podcasts out that are tied into this, talking about different development, doing Q&A. The Forge is one that I've been on and talked to those folks. They do a really solid job. They've also got, I believe they've also been involved in the Order 66 podcast, which is a big podcast for the Star Wars RPG line.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Star. Oh, yeah, I do want to talk
I
about
think you
Star
did
Wars.
want to talk about Star Wars. We can
It's
lean
just
into that right
something-
there.
I know, right? Hey, if you could come here and get, was it knighted?
Don't do it.
Get knighted as a Jedi, would you do it? Like officially, like with a pamphlet and have a guy do it?
That sounds pretty cool.
Like from the Universal Church, they recognize Jedi as a religion.
Sure.
So you can be ordained as a Jedi.
Sounds pretty awesome.
Well, I got a guy.
All right.
Josh does not like the guy I got.
He's the furthest thing from a Jedi.
It doesn't matter. You come in here, we'll have a little big vent day, and you can do everything. That would be a cool idea, right?
That sounds like fun.
Minimal
Yeah.
fee, of course.
You gotta cover your
pay
costs,
that guy
yeah.
off.
Yeah.
I gotta pay that honorable Jedi guy off. Josh just doesn't like. I love the idea. We'll have a Star Wars day.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I don't like the idea of who's doing
It
it.
doesn't matter. Just ignore it.
Well, if you want to do a Star
He'll wear
Wars
a mask.
day event, for next May 4th, I could be down for working on that with you.
Well, we could have him
Yes,
here.
absolutely.
We could do a whole bunch of things for May
May
the 4th.
January, February, March, April, May.
Yeah, you got time. I mean, you could set up some X-Wing games and other Star Wars things if you can get your phone to stop beeping.
I know. It's like the timer is supposed to be quiet. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Like I said, don't know what I'm doing. There we go. So anyway, yeah, May 4th, you think? Let me get on that.
It's really big. I mean, Star Wars Day.
Let me get the guy. May 4th.
It's May the 4th be with you, and then
you know
what comes after that, right?
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, come
Revenge
on.
of the 5th.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, 4. I got it. May.
Is your heritage coming?
I know. That just snuck out on me for a minute. And then, okay. I'll get on that. I'll get on it. All over it, Josh. You'll be there.
I mean, you got a podium too now, so.
Oh, I do have a podium. You see our podium? No, put it back in the car. We had a podium. We're going to do something with it.
Oh, you did get it. You were talking about it.
We do have a podium, and it is kind of cool.
Well, that does seem like something
We have
appropriate
props
for a knighting ceremony.
We have plenty of props. Lots of props. We can do it right here. We can have a green screen. We could have a background.
What are you gonna put, like,
we can
car
take
signs?
Well, you were
photos.
talking
Yeah.
about referral pages. See, now you need to deal with one of those lightsaber manufacturers that you get a % of the gross when people order them
Yeah.
from them.
How much are those things?
They could get up there.
All the money.
I don't want to actually.
Well, Galaxy's Edge down at Disney has a thing where a Jedi will come out and teach you how to build a lightsaber.
I think my daughter Ariana just went
It
there.
is the coolest thing I've ever seen on YouTube.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I want to do it. And I basically looked at it and said, I don't really need a retirement fund that much. I'm not going to live that long.
Listen,
I'm a gamer.
just drive down there. Nope, not going to do it.
Yeah.
My daughter Ariana was. I should have asked her about that. Ariana and
She
Chris-
said there was like a waiting list just to get in.
Really?
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
just sign
Yeah,
up,
I'm pretty
Oh.
sure when you...
Oh, she probably talked to you more about it than me.
Yeah, I
pretty sure
just
you need to
talked
do
to
the
her.
Fast Pass 2-3 months out if you want a chance
Yeah,
to
she
do it.
said it was crazy to just to get in there and like get the lightsaber.
And I think it's like $200 for the base model, but then you
Yep.
upgrade from there. And I basically looked at it and said, I don't care how much you're going to charge me. A Jedi
Then
will
you-
teach me how to build
yeah.
a lightsaber.
Can't we
They
just-
can have my money.
Then there's like kyber crystals you can buy
Yeah.
and all that.
What makes him a Jedi?
What?
What makes that guy a Jedi?
Disney said so.
Yeah. Duh.
Oh man! Wait, do I got to get Disney's permission before I do this other thing?
Absolutely.
Well, you probably didn't need to until you broadcast it over the internet.
Oh, sorry. Oh boy! Now we got to pirate this pirate radio here. No, I don't think I need their permission. No way.
Use
Not
their
a trademark
logos,
attorney
maybe.
here.
Huh?
Use their logos and stuff, yeah, but like as far as the
Oh
religion,
man,
I
that
don't
just
know.
became
just became
overly
real money.
complicated.
I know you could do a May the 4th party. I don't know what you can
Yeah.
do
Oh,
beyond that.
now I gotta go read stuff. Doggone mouse. God
The green
bless 'em.
screen just got really expensive all of
Yeah,
a sudden.
God bless them. God bless them. Man, they did something. That just brings a tear to my eye.
It's the things that happen when you have infinite money.
God bless them. I mean, right? I mean, everybody has a chance to do that. I mean, they just ran with it like crazy. Everybody does. So, kids at home, come up with something original.
And then sell it to Disney.
Yeah, and then market it. Make it good. Work hard to make it good. All right, so May 4th party. Man, now I got to look all that up. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. Disney police busting in my doors, windows.
Yes, they wear mouse ears.
I was like, do they wear ears? Like, that's the question we all want to know. Do they have mouse ears?
It's not them I'm worried about. It's a guy in the suit with the briefcase shows up.
Yeah.
Yep. I have nothing. Oh, well. And on that note, one reminder that we still are renting out the Rusty Dragon Inn private gaming room. $25 for 4-hour blocks. Available 7 days a week. You have specials for all day, $50 still, right? Yeah. And then you can do the podcast rental room when you want to rent this podcast to do your Star Wars featured item that, we're probably not going to do anymore because I just realized it's expensive. No, I'm kidding.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Well, if this guy's, knighting people for money, he may have some idea what licensing is involved in that.
He doesn't.
He absolutely does not.
It does not. He does not.
Remember what I said about the guy?
Well, if you really don't like him, then all you've got to do is turn him over.
Oh no. No. There might be so much dirt he has on me. It's a back and forth. Hey, buddy, what are you doing today?
Mutually assured destruction.
He's the kind of guy. It's a funny story.
It always is.
Well, I'll tell you later, but I got to talk to him. But we have funny conversations. They usually involve who is this? Click. Anyway, also we can rent this podcast. You can make your own podcast, video cast. Josh will work on it with you. Different fees.
He paints the wall.
Yeah, he paints the wall. That's all hand painted.
Every single time.
It's all hand painted.
So much money in paint.
And then, like I said, next one we're gonna do is with Nate is gonna be the Dungeon Crawl Classics. I want to get somebody in here for Magic, and then I want to do something about. I want to bring up gamer etiquette again. I had an incident.
How much time do you have?
I don't know. This is a very specific, small incident.
I was here.
Oh, yeah, John was here.
Oh, you're here.
Oh, yeah.
John was
God.
here.
I thought the dog had done something.
Yeah.
I got the phone call.
Let's put it this way. Angry phone call. Like, why would somebody do that? I mean, if the dog would have done it, I'd been like, oh, he had an accident. This is a person that made me insane and unacceptable, if you ask me. But
inhuman.
I don't know. If you have a problem, we can all say, hey, it's okay. If you don't handle that problem, then no, you're just rude at that point.
If
But anyway.
if you have a problem, at least say something to someone working.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoops.
Don't just walk away.
Yeah, we all have bad days. Don't just leave that for the next guy to find. All right. Anyway, on that note, we'll have that conversation at a different day. I gotta talk to somebody first, and then we'll have that conversation, and then we'll go from there. But anyway, thanks for coming in, John.
Absolutely.
Genesis, we have this. Want to come in and buy it? You can. Not this copy.
Yeah, that's mine.
This is John's copy. And if you wanna do another demo, let me know, or another game night with it. Let me know.
We can figure that out probably after the holidays because things are a little crazy in the next few weeks.
It's a little mushy right now, so we'll go from there. All right. Cool. Well, once again, thank on Melior. Will give me your
MeliorVia.com, MELIORVIA.com. That's my publishing company, and also on Facebook and Twitter.
All right, and then you can find us at the store 216-712-7169. Immortals Inc. at yahoo.com is just email. We used to do a bunch of other stuff, but that's simple. And then just honestly, if you want to get a hold of us, immortalsinc.com. And you'll give all the links, Facebook and everything else. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube.
All the social medias.
Yep. Josh is all over that. He better be if he wants to be ordained as a Jedi Knight. All right, everybody. We'll see you later.